It's Thursday, March 14th, 2024, an absolutely stunning day today. A little breezy. I apologize if the audio is picking up some of the wind. Hopefully it's not too bad, but an absolutely beautiful day today. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification down below so that you are alerted when the newest videos drop. We have a lot to talk about today. Let's get into it. This first article coming from the Hedge titled Fed on Hold in 2024. Are we going to see rate cuts in 2024? It is looking more and more like we are not going to see any rate cuts in 2024. June, they were talking about June. June is looking very dim now. And if we don't get a rate cut in June, we're halfway through the year without a cut. And the markets continue to ignore this. There has been no rate cut this year. There may be no rate cut this year. More and more people now, more economists coming out and reporting they don't see a rate cut this year. And markets are ignoring this. Markets are ignoring the news that inflation is not going away. We look at CPI, we look at PPI, inflation is not going away. It's in fact going up, and the markets continue to ignore this. And the markets today, with the data that we continue to get, should have absolutely collapsed today. Markets should have plunged today. Dow Jones was only down 137, NASDAQ was down 49. The Dow was down over 300 at one point, but they should have absolutely gotten crushed today on the news. But the markets continue to ignore the news that we're not going to see rate cuts, that we might actually see rate hikes. And the markets continue to ignore this. The markets are ignoring the inflation numbers. They're ignoring jobless claims. The markets are ignoring all of the data that is pointing to the fact that the Fed is not going to be able to cut rates. This week provided a reminder that inflation isn't going away anytime soon. This is the title of this article on CNBC today. Monday, the New York Fed showed the consumer expectations over the longer term had accelerated in February. Tuesday, CPI came in hotter than expected, rising 3.2% year over year. Thursday, pipeline pressures at the wholesale level also heating up. It says here in the article, odds of the next move being a hike greater than zero. Could we see a rate hike this year? Not rate cut, but a rate hike. I think it's very, very possible. And if the numbers keep coming in like they are, it's going to be more probable. And it should happen. I think the Fed should be getting aggressive right now in tackling inflation. And we all know that the inflation numbers are a joke. It's much higher than what is being reported. Wholesale inflation rose 0.6% in February, much more than expected, according to this article on CNBC. The PPI, which measures pipeline costs for raw, intermediate, and finished goods, jumped 0.6% on the month, double the estimate, up 1.6% year over year. 2/3 of the rise in the headline index came from the 1.2% surge in good prices, thanks to a 4.4% jump in energy prices. Remember, the cost is all going to get passed on to us, ladies and gentlemen. We're all going to be paying more at the store, the Walmarts, the Kohl's, the grocery store, you name it. Prices are going up. Here's another one today from CNBC. Treasury yields rise after February wholesale inflation turns out hotter than expected. I just checked about an hour ago. The 10-year sitting at 4.292%. Not good for the housing market, that is for sure. I believe a 30-year fixed rate right now, mortgage sitting at about 6.95%. No doubt, homes are going to be sitting on the market much, much longer. Inventory is going to continue to climb. If I was a home builder right now, I would be extremely nervous. I see all these homes in my area being built right now. Disneyland building a couple thousand homes. I would be extremely nervous if I was a builder right now, as we are hovering near 7% on a 30-year. Rates not going down. In fact, we have the possibility that interest rates are going to go up. But say they don't do anything, they just sit where they're at. That means we're going to be sitting higher for longer. Mortgage rates will be sitting right around 7%, but I think they're going higher. I think inflation is going higher. I think the 10-year bond yields are going higher. And I believe mortgage rates are going higher. You know, I did a video yesterday. I was talking about this real estate agent on social media saying that now is a great time to buy a house because mortgage rates are going to go down and more people are going to be buying, and so prices are going to go higher for a house. I talked to a lender last summer as I'm looking for a home right now in the South, and began my search about 1.5 years ago, and talked to a lender last year, and he said that after the conversation, he said that by last summer, mortgage rates should be down to 4.5%. Wow, was he off? And these people continue to believe this pipe dream, this illusion that things are going to get better and that rates are going to go down, and home prices, these overpriced homes, are going to go up even further. I think that everybody better do themselves a service here and realize that home prices are coming down. And if you're a seller, you better get in front of this market, not behind the market, because too many, from what I'm seeing, are chasing this market. They still believe it's 2022. They still believe that these lottery ticket prices still exist, and they don't. People cannot qualify. The price of a mortgage now is literally double what it was 1.5 years ago. People are losing jobs. Inflation is eating away at people's savings. There's so much uncertainty out there. This is no time to be chasing the housing market. If I had a home for sale right now, I would make sure I was priced to be the next sale on the block. Get out. If you're thinking of selling, price it right and get out, because from what I see, from what the data I'm looking at, from the dots that I'm connecting, and having a little bit of experience in the real estate market, this market is going down. And by the time people wake up and realize it and everybody's running to the exits, people will be dropping prices so fast. And remember that if your neighbor sells his house, that's the new price. That's what the bank looks at. When the appraiser comes out, they're going to go, oh, the house next to you just sold for X amount of money. That's the new comp. That's it right there. So realize what's happening right now. Don't be greedy, and don't listen to what all the lenders are saying, what all the real estate experts and so-called experts, real estate agents, are saying. Look at this stuff. Do your due diligence. Take a look at what's happening. Do you really think that the economy is going to improve in the next couple months? Do you really think that interest rates and mortgage rates are going to go way down? Do you really think that we're going to see a surge in jobs? It's all the opposite, ladies and gentlemen. Be very, very careful. People are losing a lot of money right now sitting on these homes because their agents are telling them that, oh, your home is worth this much, just be patient. It's not going to sell. Get aggressive. Put it at the right price. These people that are telling you that this fantasy is coming back, that we're going back to 3-4% mortgage rates, and home prices are going to explode higher, they're in la-la land. U.S. crude rises above $80 as oil supply deficit forecast for 2024. This also on CNBC, up $1.39 today, 81.11 last I checked for a barrel of oil. This is going to be very inflationary. Everything is shipped by plane, train, truck, boat, you name it, and it all takes oil. Oil prices are going up, and as we get closer to summer, you can bet that they're going up. How much more can we deplete our strategic petroleum reserves? We are so dependent on other nations now to import oil. It's going to get more expensive for everything because oil prices are going to go up. I would not be shocked to see oil break $90 this summer. I wouldn't be shocked to see it break over $100 this year. It's going to happen. So be careful out there. 401k hardship withdrawal surged to another record as high inflation stings. This is, again, another indication of where we're at. It says here you'll owe income tax on the money that you take out of your 401k, and you could be hit with an early withdrawal fee of 10%. If you are under the age of 59 and a half. Now, if you can prove that this withdrawal is for hardship, you won't have to pay that fee. But, it almost seems like it's not your money, that you have to jump through so many hoops now to get to your money. Is buying groceries going to be considered hardship? Because that's what people are having to dip into their 401ks for now. But just think about this money that people have in the markets and in their retirements. It's taxable if you take it early. You have to be this age. If you take it out early, you're going to be, you know, you're going to have to pay this fee, and you cannot. I believe you cannot pay this back into your 401k either if you take it out. So, how much is it going to cost you to access your own money in the time of emergency? They got you coming, they got you going, ladies and gentlemen. They got you going in, they got you coming out. It's really, really sad. It's almost like it really isn't your money. You work for all this money, you pay taxes on this money, and then when you need it, it's another fee, it's another charge, it's another tax. Really sad. Jobless claims data goes from the sublime to the ridiculous. The hedge today. Last week, jobless claims came in at 209,000. Yet we look at all these companies laying off so many people, and yet these ridiculous, outlandish jobless claims. It really is unbelievable. It's laughable, and it's sad. But this is the data that the Fed is looking at. They're data reliant. So they're looking at jobless claims, they're looking at record low unemployment, record high home prices, they're looking at the PPI, the CPI, all this. There's no way in hell the Fed can cut rates. And they should do the opposite. They should be raising rates right now. And a lot of people would say, no, they shouldn't do that. But what's going to happen if they cut rates? We're going to get more inflation. It's going to benefit the top 1%. Prices of everything will go up. Cheap money will be out there. People can borrow more, get deeper into debt, and we can see more overvalued homes, overvalued stocks. People will just have access to cheap money again, pushing the bubble even higher. Here's one from the hedge today. Time for a backyard chicken coop. Supermarket egg prices soaring once again. A dozen eggs jumped 40%. Going from $2.13 to $3 between November and January. Isn't that unbelievable? People are just not going to get a break. There's going to be a lot of carnage by the end of 2024. And you know what? 2025 doesn't look any better. Mapping credit card delinquency rates in the U.S. by state. This data comes from wallethub.com. I think I talked about this last week, but it's fascinating to look at the delinquency rates throughout America. There is not one state in this country that is below 10%. Mississippi, 39%. Louisiana, 32%. Alabama, 31%. Arkansas, 30%. Oklahoma, 28%. Kentucky, 28%. South Carolina, 27%. Tennessee, 26%. Texas, 25%. That is the credit card delinquency rate by state. And if you go to Wallet Hub, you can check out the map. It's alarming. It's concerning because it's showing you how weak the average household and consumer is throughout the country. Not one state is below 10% in credit card delinquency. That is unbelievable. That is scary. Now, a couple articles I want to finish with. The last one is a miracle. The last one is good news. The last one is a phenomenal article, so stay tuned. But this one right here is horrific. A 6-year-old girl attacked by a homeless man as she ate ice cream. This happened a few days ago in Santa Monica, California. Family visiting from the East Coast. A recommendation here, don't come to California to vacation, especially Los Angeles County. Not a good place to be vacationing. It is just not a good place to be. If you do, you know, maybe go to Orange County, stay at the beach. That's about it. So these people came to California, the family, and they were hanging out with some friends, and they just exited an ice cream shop in Santa Monica, and this lunatic, this demon, struck this little 6-year-old girl, knocking her to the ground. Comment down below. What if you were in this situation? What would you do? They picked up the girl and they ran. And while they were doing this, one of the friends was taking pics with her phone of the suspect and calling the police. So nothing happened to the suspect. Nobody did anything to the suspects. It says here that the friend said, I was afraid my friend was going to get hurt protecting his kid. That probably would have been maybe the first thing to do, is protect your kid, not be taking pics and calling the police, but maybe actually protecting your child. Now, look, I wasn't there. I'm not going to, be the Monday quarterback here. But I don't know if this was my dog or my kid. This could have been different. Let's put it that way. But absolutely horrifying. Santa Monica, beautiful area, and you're not even safe in Santa Monica. So, again, exercise situational awareness. Watch out for your family, your kids. Nobody is immune now. Okay, nobody is immune from a violent attack. Not even a little 6-year-old girl eating an ice cream cone. I think she's going to be okay. I think she's going to be fine. But this is a horrific experience. She might even have PTSD from this. This is something that, as a kid, you probably would never forget. But if you were a parent, what would you do in this situation? What would you do if this was, I'll tell you right now, little nuggets over here right now, if somebody touched this dog, it's game on. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not going to sit here and act like some tough guy or, tell you what to do in a situation. Some people say, hey, I need to, exercise more control. No, I stand up to evil. I stand up to bullies. I stand up to violence. And that doesn't mean I'm a tough guy or anything like that. But there is no way I'm letting anybody harm my family, including Nugget or Mimi. Nothing. I might get my butt beaten, but I'm going down with a fight, that's for sure. No way in hell I would ever allow anybody in my family to be hurt, that is for sure, and not do anything about it. I'm not going to be taking pics. I'm not going to be calling the police. We may be calling an ambulance, but we would not be calling the police. But hopefully the little girl's going to be okay. I'm sure she is. I'm going to close with this last one. This is some really good news here. I'm a big fan of the UFC. I've been a big fan of MMA. Cage combat. We used to go to Cage Combat in LA all the time. King of the Cage. Had a couple friends that fought there quite a bit in the early 2000s when I was training in Orange County. And I've always been a really, really big fan. And one person I was a really, really big fan of was Mark Coleman. I believe he took a silver in the Olympics in the early 90s. I think it was 92. He was the godfather of ground and pound. He won the heavyweight championship, UFC 10, UFC 11. I just loved his style. He was just no nonsense, just an elite wrestler, ground and pounder, just one tough SOB, hard as nails. Anyways, I believe it was, 5 days ago. Correct, don't keep me to the date, but he was living, I believe, with his parents. Went through some tough times. Had a heart attack in 2020. He was drinking a lot of alcohol. I think he really cleaned up his act in 2021, 2022. Stopped drinking, but really battled the demons with alcoholism, and was really cleaning up his act, getting clean, getting back in shape. I think he's near 60. Anyways, his home was on fire, lit up on fire. His dog Hammer woke him up. He wakes up, gets his parents, carries his parents, not his grandparents, but his parents over his shoulders, gets them out of the house while the house is just engulfed in flames, burns all the hair off of his body. He goes back to get his dog Hammer, and Mark Coleman's nickname was the Hammer. And he went back to get his dog, and the dog didn't make it out. Mark Coleman did not make it out. Fire department got there, got Mark out of there. He was unconscious, not breathing, got to the hospital. They put him in an induced coma. I think he's been in a coma, induced coma, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it was. And the hospital said it doesn't look good. They said he didn't look like he was going to make it. And this SOB is tough, man. He woke up today and he just said, God, I'm so lucky. I can't believe my parents are alive. He broke down in tears that he couldn't save his dog, Hammer. So rest in peace, Hammer. God bless Mark Coleman. Here's a guy, ran up, one of the best fighters in the world at one time, ran up on some hard times, got into alcohol, painkillers, I believe, too, and then just turned it around. And maybe this was Mark Coleman's real big wake-up call here. Maybe this is what he needed. I don't know. But man, this dude is tough. This dude is awesome. These are people that, you know, that I think younger people, all people should really look up to. This guy, Olympic wrestler, UFC champion, kicks, you know, alcoholism, goes into a burning house and pulls both of his parents out over his shoulders and then goes back for his dog. Unfortunately, couldn't get Hammer out. Rest in peace, Hammer. But, you know, I said a prayer for Mark Coleman the other night, and I know a lot of people were. So Mark, Mr. Mark Coleman, God bless you. No doubt God was looking out for you, and he's a great example of a real fighter. That's a hardcore human being right there that just has no fear of death, nothing. Went in, saved his parents, went in, tried to save his dog, didn't care, did not care about his own life, just went in to save his parents and his dog. So I just wanted to mention that because I think that, you know, stories like that, they're eye-opening. Stories like that, I just think are absolutely incredible. They're inspiring, that we all just need to be tougher. We all just need to not always think about ourselves, but, you know, he thought about his parents, other human life, and even his dog's life. And I just think that that's absolutely incredible. So say a prayer for Mark Coleman and his family. Rest in peace, Hammer. I know Hammer's in a better place today. And God bless everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. So much happening. And say a prayer for the United States of America. This country is in big trouble. The economy is collapsing even further. People are hurting. People you know are hurting. Maybe you're hurting. And you know, the people in the comments are extremely inspiring to me, people I know, family members, and people that watch these videos. Those comments down below have really inspired people to get more responsible with their finances, to be more responsible with their physical health, their spiritual health. So keep the comments coming. They're inspiring people. They're incredible. They're eye-opening. They're making people think. And that's all we can do, is make people think. And it's up to people at the end of the day what they want to do. God bless all of you. Have a great day. Talk to all of you very, very soon.